Some of these jobs in British transport. Take something we all know. Buses and the people who work in them. There's the conductor. Half the time he's a booking clerk and cashier. Half the time he's the father of a large family of passengers. And think of those bus drivers.
The transport sector has historically always been very male-dominated, and the very few women that had jobs in the industry would often only have the role of supplying refreshments. Transport services play a huge role in our society, whether it's the freight vehicles carrying goods to local supermarkets or passenger vehicles offering access links to work, family and health facilities. Women make up 47% of the UK's workforce, but are underrepresented in the transport sector, accounting for only 20%. I'm at this year's Eurobus Expo, surrounded by men. Very few women. Young girls and women are often actively discouraged from pursuing careers in industries typically seen as male sectors.
There is more women coming into it, and I think they should come into it. You have to accept that it's more of a man's life. You know, the world is more men in the transport industry than women.
Some organisations are recognising this boy club image and are putting measures in place to support women in the sector and bring equal gender representation to transport. But changing a workplace culture doesn't just happen overnight. Women in Transport is a leading non-profit organisation offering training and mentoring for women already in or looking to enter the transport industry. This is what their ideal future is, but is it achievable?
The ideal would be that there's no need for women in transport. That, you know, it isn't unusual or a thing where you have to put an inspiring panel of women working in the transport sector up. Actually, you just have an inspirational panel of experts who are talking about the fantastic work that they do.
I think we have times where it feels like it's a long, long way away, and I know you see lots of studies that say, you know, we're sort of like 104 years or something away from gender equality within the industry, which is really depressing. But I think everything we do right the way across, not just with women in transport, but organisations we work with, making small steps towards it. I think that all builds up into something much bigger. But there's a long way to go, but it is achievable.
Simply recruiting more women is not a complete solution. Having the focus of employing the right person for the right job should not be lost, and very rarely will a woman be unable to do the same job as a man. Turbo Style Coaches is a coach hire operation transporting schools, adults and private parties to destinations across the UK and Europe. They pride themselves on valuing customer service rather than the gender of their employees. Operations Manager Dave Rie believes the transport sector needs more women and is actively encouraging them to join his operation on social media platforms.
For some reason, I don't know why, everybody thinks it should just be men driving coaches, which is totally wrong. Anybody can drive a coach. You know, anyone that can drive a car is more than qualified to go out and seek training to get their PCV. Once you've got it, you know, I see it as the world's their oyster. It doesn't matter whether you're male, female or gender neutral. Anybody can do it. I don't know whether it's people get this perception that women can't hump the luggage around or things like that, especially on the tour coaches. Sometimes there's a lot of heavy luggage coming in, but that shouldn't make any difference. You know, anybody can lift a suitcase as long as you do it in the right way. There shouldn't be any problem.
Last year, women made up 16% of UK bus drivers, 7% of private hire vehicle drivers, and a shocking 1% of HGV drivers. These statistics show just how male-heavy the transport sector really is. Women make over a third more bus journeys a year than men, so why doesn't the gender behind the wheel reflect the users of transport services? Transport manager trainer Chris Shelford has seen great benefits to his businesses after recruiting more women and urges others within the sector to follow his footsteps.
Both companies that I own, we have a 70% split, so 70% are female staff and the remaining 30 clearly are males, but yeah, I would say if we can do it and we are seeing massive benefits, the rest of the industry should be following our path.
The Confederation of Passenger Transport released data showing that almost 1 in 10 bus driver positions are vacant in the UK this year. But is promoting an inclusive working environment for all genders going to be enough to drive the change that desperately needs to happen? What do you think?